Daniel Reyes had grease under his fingernails and calluses on his hands, but what weighed on him most wasn't the work, it was the feeling of running out of time. Bills were overdue, the fridge was half empty, and his daughter Lily's only pair of sneakers had holes at the toes. Still, Daniel woke up before sunrise every day, packed Lily's school lunch with care, kissed her forehead, and told her everything was going to be okay. That morning was no different, except for one small twist. Just as he was finishing up a clogged drain job across town, his phone buzzed with a new service call, urgent plumbing issue. The address made him blink. Stonebridge Heights. The wealthiest gated community in the city. He double-checked. Yes, the address was correct. Maybe one of the maids or groundskeepers had made the call. He shrugged and accepted it. He couldn't afford to be picky. Work was work. An hour later, Daniel found himself at the towering iron gates of a modern glass-and-stone mansion. His rusty van looked painfully out of place next to the sleek Teslas and manicured lawns. He buzzed the intercom, expecting silence or skepticism. Instead, a woman's voice came through, crisp but kind. "You the plumber?" "Yes, ma'am." "Daniel Reyes." "Come in." The gate slid open, and Daniel drove through with his heart pounding in his chest. This wasn't his world. He was just here to fix something and go. He knocked on the front door. It opened almost immediately. Standing there was a woman, late 30s, maybe early 40s, with sharp eyes softened by weariness. She wore yoga pants and a faded college sweatshirt. No makeup. No airs. "I'm Ellie," she said. "Thanks for coming so quickly. The downstairs bathroom's flooding. I think a pipe burst. Let me take a look." She led him down a marble hallway. The place was massive, but oddly quiet. No staff. No family. Just her. He got to work, thankful for the distraction. For the next 2 hours, Daniel replaced a cracked pipe under the sink, cleaned up water damage, and repaired a loose valve. All the while, Ellie hovered nearby, not in a micromanaging way, but more like she didn't want to be alone. "Do you always do house calls yourself?" she asked. He chuckled. "I am the business. One-man team." "You have a family?" "Yeah. Just me and my daughter. Lily. She's 9. Smart as a whip. Loves space and drawing aliens." Ellie smiled at that. "She sounds amazing." "She is." There was something warm in her tone. Not pity, empathy. She wasn't asking out of small talk. She cared. When the job was done, Daniel handed her an invoice, modest, even discounted a little. She looked at it and then at him. "You're undercharging." He scratched the back of his neck. "Honestly, I price based on the job, not the address." Ellie laughed. "That's rare." She wrote him a check for triple the amount. "I can't." "You can. And you should." She handed it to him. "You're skilled, kind, and you show up. Don't sell yourself short." Daniel was speechless. That's when Lily called. He answered quickly. "Hey, sweetie. Yeah, I'll be there in 20 minutes. Want me to pick up milk?" "Okay. Love you." He turned to find Ellie watching him, something unreadable in her eyes. "You're a good dad," she said quietly. He smiled, genuinely. "I try." A week passed. Then another. Out of nowhere, Ellie called again. The washing machine wasn't draining. Could he take a look? He did. Then the kitchen faucet started leaking. Then a pantry shelf collapsed. It felt like the house was conspiring to bring him back. Each time, Daniel arrived, worked, and left. But with each visit, something shifted. They talked more. About their lives. Their dreams. Their regrets. He learned Ellie was alone, divorced 3 years ago, no kids. She said she'd buried herself in work after the breakup. Built her company from scratch. She didn't mention what company. Just that she ran it. Daniel assumed it was a small business. Maybe design, or consulting. He never asked. He didn't want to pry. One day, Ellie invited him to stay for lunch. They ate grilled cheese and tomato soup on the back patio while Lily sat beside them, sketching rocket ships in her notebook. "Your daughter's got an imagination," Ellie said. "She gets that from her mom," Daniel replied, voice softening. Ellie tilted her head. "You don't talk about her much. She passed away when Lily was 5. Car accident." A silence fell over the table. Not uncomfortable, just heavy with meaning. "I'm sorry," Ellie said. "Me too." Later that afternoon, Daniel noticed a framed photo tucked behind some books in the living room. It showed Ellie on the cover of Forbes magazine. "Wait," he said, pulling it out. "You're Ellie Calloway." She winced. "Yeah. I was hoping you'd figure it out on your own eventually. You own Nexera. The tech company. Co-founded it." "But yeah." Daniel set the photo down, his face unreadable. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because you treated me like a person. Not a paycheck. Not a title. I liked that. I liked you." Daniel sat down slowly, the weight of it all settling in. "I fix sinks and drive a van with one door that doesn't open. You run a billion-dollar company." She reached out, touching his hand. "And you raised a kind, bright daughter on your own. You show up when people need you. You work hard and stay humble. That's worth more than a dozen IPOs." He didn't pull away. But he didn't say anything either. The next few weeks were strange. He kept working. She stopped calling, but not out of anger. Out of respect. Until one rainy night, Lily got sick. High fever. Coughing. Daniel couldn't afford the ER bill, but he was terrified. He called every free clinic, but they were all closed or full. Out of desperation, he called Ellie. Not for money, just to ask if she knew a doctor who could help. 20 minutes later, she was at his door, with a pediatrician friend, a bag of supplies, and medicine. Lily was okay. Just the flu. But Daniel was shaken. After the doctor left, Daniel stood in the hallway, watching Ellie make tea in his tiny kitchen. "Why do you care so much?" he asked. She turned, eyes shining. "Because you remind me what matters. Because I admire you. And maybe, because I've been falling for you since the day you fixed my sink and asked for less than you deserved." He looked down. "You deserve someone who belongs in your world." She stepped closer. "You are my world now." They didn't kiss. Not then. But something between them shifted, settled. 3 months later, Ellie invested in Daniel's dream. Not a handout. A partnership. He launched Reyes Repairs and Renovations, with a proper crew, trucks, and even benefits for his workers. Ellie never flaunted her role. She just believed in him until he believed in himself. They kept their relationship private. Not out of shame, but to protect what they were building. Lily started calling Ellie her bonus mom. And Daniel, for the first time in years, stopped waking up afraid. Because sometimes, love doesn't arrive with grand gestures or fairy tale timing. Sometimes, it comes quietly, disguised as a service call. And in answering it, two hearts find exactly what they didn't know they were missing.